Hello everyone! Are you guys in the endgame and wondering if you have the best weapons for every single one of your party members? Or you're perhaps in the early to mid game and are just wondering where to look for the best weapons when you get there? Well, if you are, this is the video for you. Here are the best weapons for every single class in the Dragon Quest III HD-2D remake. Let's get right into it. So, Quano here, and for the first part of this video, we have a 4-in-1, 4 classes at the same time. Why? Well, first of all, to not make this video too long, and because they have the same exact weapon, so I don't want to repeat myself. So we have the Warrior, the Monster Wrangler, the Martial Artist, and the Thief. So, these classes have the exact same best weapon, and that is the destructiball. So it's just a big morning star that you can fling around. It works like a whip, but it also has some of the highest, probably the second highest attack in the game, so that is why it is very good here. Now I say second because there's also a legendary secret weapon, but I'll talk about that at the end of the video because it's a bit complicated to get. Now, the Destructible has one of the highest attacks in the game, like I said, a fat 155. There are 2 copies of it in the game. It can be found on the 4th floor of the Citadel Tower, which is the tower you get to after going to heaven after beating Zoma in the post-game. It is on the 4th floor of the tower that leads to Shenlong. The second copy of this weapon is even further in the game. After you beat Shenlong at the top of that tower, if you ask for the wish, that gives you the post-game dungeon. In that post-game dungeon, the Temple of Trials, if you go to the northeast section, you will get the second copy. I'll leave pictures in the background of this video just to show you the exact location of these 2 copies of the weapon. Now, these are weapons that are in the late game, and if you want to know more about wishes, I made an entire video about all wishes, how to get them, what they do, and how to get more of them. So yeah, just know that one of these 2 copies will require you to get a wish, and both of these copies are in the post game. Now let's get to the next class. Now, next on the list is our trustworthy hero, or yourself if you like to self-insert perhaps. But yeah, the hero now can equip the previously mentioned Destructible, so it would make a very good choice on him. But keep in mind that you only get 2 copies of the Destructible. So if you have a hero, 2 physical damage dealers, and then a caster, it would be preferable to put the 2 Destructibles on them and another weapon on the hero. Why? Because the hero has access to a hero exclusive weapon, not multiple, that is almost equal in attack to the Destructible, and that is the Sword of Kings. The Sword of Kings is barely weaker than the Destructible, and is very, very good. It does the job. Now, the Sword of Kings is locked behind a side quest, which I covered thoroughly in one specific video, so I'll leave it in the description if you don't already have the Sword of Kings. But yeah, keep in mind, because of the limited amount of Destructibles you can get, the Sword of Kings is the best in slot for the hero. So now we have the Mage, Sage, and Priest. I decided to put all these 3 together for the same reasons as the first 4. They share kind of similar weapons. They have the best weapons with an asterisk. You know, they have the same best weapons with a small twist at the end, and that is because the Sage has more options. But the options he has extra are the ones you want to give them to give to your other party members, like the Destructible and some other weapons like whips, very good whips, that you would rather give to your physical DPSs because they will make more use of it. Now, what do you give to your Sage, your Priest, and your Mage? Well, you have a more support healing option in the Sage Staff. Now, the Sage Staff is found in the city of Cole. You can just buy it there, and you can use it as an item to get an MP free multi-heal. So for example, if your Mage didn't learn multi-heal and you want multi-heal, then yes, you can give that weapon to him. Or if your Priest and Sage just want an MP free multi-heal because you're struggling with MP perhaps, then it is definitely a good choice for a supportive party member, because weapons don't matter that much for spellcasters. Now, you can also equip the somatic staff, which is probably what will be the best in slot for your casters for the rest of the game, because it has high attack, and it also uses their MP to deal stronger attacks when they just want to basic attack. So that will be your best in slot for the mages or sages and priests. Now, let me know in the comments if you have other options for the spellcasters. Now, let me just give you the location of the somatic staff. It is located in Bharata. It is sold there, so just like the sage staff, you can just buy it. So yeah, that was it for the casters. Don't fret too much about the weapons for your casters. It doesn't matter as much. So yeah, give your best hard-hitting weapons to your physical DPS and just choose between Sage or Somatic Staff for your spellcasters. Now, let's get to the next class. The next class on the list is the Merchant. Now, if you ever want to keep your Merchant till the end of the game for some funny call for arms or just because you like the Merchant, well, here is the best in slot for the Merchant. Sadly, the Merchants cannot equip Destructiball. So yeah, if you have a Merchant and a caster, probably give a Destructiball to your hero. But they have access to a Merchant exclusive weapon, which is called the Astraea's Abacus. And this weapon is, you get it when you, as a reward for getting 85 medals. It has 122 attack, which is not like it's not as good as Destructible, but it's pretty usable. It's very, very good for a late game. And it has a funny passive of telling you how much gold you have if you use it in the world, in the field map. So yeah, it can be funny. But I just wanted to mention that because it's a merchant exclusive weapon, but it is not its best in slot. The best in slot for the merchant is the poker, which is the strongest spear in the game. It's kind of a funny name for the strongest spear in the game, just poking with the poker. Now, the funny thing is that its Japanese name is I think like the Demon Spear of Kishin, which is kind of like a funny discrepancy, the duality between poker and Demon Spear of Kishin. Now, the Demon Spear of Kishin, or the poker, is a weapon with a very high attack of 139. You know, not too far behind the Destructible. And it is located in the exact same place on the Citadel Tower. This one is on the 2nd floor. So yeah, if you are playing a merchant in the post game, keep that in mind. You would want the poker. Now, let's get to our next and kinda useless class. Now, I'll keep this one quick because who is using a Gadabout in the post game? Let's be honest. Unless you want a quick Sage, but even if you want a quick Sage, you just switch to Gadabout, farm till level 20, which is pretty fast at that point in the game, and then just get rid of the Gadabout. So yeah, I'll be quick for the Gadabout. Give him whatever you have. Literally the strongest you have that is not already given to other party members. Obviously, prioritize other party members before giving your second best weapon or third best weapon to the Gadabout. That's it for the Gadabouts, because I literally don't want to take too much time on him. Now, let's talk about really good weapons to add to your arsenal, because even if they're not the best, you can equip multiple weapons in this game, right? You can have multiple weapons in your character inventory, and you can switch between your equipped weapons for free during battle. You don't have to waste a turn to switch weapons, so one character can have 3 weapons and use any of them whenever he wants. So here are some honorable mentions. Now, for the honorable mentions, first we have the Falcon Blade. This weapon, when you attack with it, you don't have to use it as an item. When you attack with it, it will mimic the hero skill Falcon Slash, which will just slash the enemy twice. That means when the hero uses it, for example, if he uses Falcon Slash, the weapon will also Falcon Slash, and then you will be able to Falcon Slash 4 times. This can be very useful to kill metal slimes, because then, you know, if you attack, and then the Falcon Blade attacks twice, you attack 3 times, or with the hero 4 times, so it can be a pretty handy weapon to just, you know, have on deck. Like I said, you can equip multiple weapons. Now we have the Metal Wing Boomerang. This boomerang is first of all, the best move boomerang in the game, and boomerangs can be useful since it hits everything on the screen. They don't have to be the same species. But this boomerang has a very special attribute, is that it always hits metal slimes. So if you have an entire screen of metal slimes to defeat, the metal wing boomerang is a very handy weapon to have. This weapon is found in Cantlin City. It has 102 attack, and it's just pretty useful. Now, for the last honorable mention, we have the Orichalcum claws, which are pretty much just as good as the destructiball. But sadly, the reason why they're not the best in slot, well, first of all, because they're like a small 4-point attack lower than destructiball, but also because they're locked behind the monster wrangling side quest, the feature in which you have to find docile friendly monsters on the map. This one requires you to have to find all 121 monsters. Now, if you are a completionist, or if you just want the highest damage with the monster pylon, and you're already on this quest of finding all the friendly monsters, well, you're lucky to know, you're happy to know that you will get one of the best weapons in the game with it. So yeah, I wanted to mention these weapons. Now, let's get on to the final legendary weapon. Now, it's time to talk about the weapon I've been teasing at the beginning of the video, the strongest weapon, the legendary sword, the Rubiss sword. Now, the Rubiss sword is the strongest by far. It is the only weapon that reaches 200 attack. Yes, you heard that well, 200. It has a 205 attack stat, to be precise, so it is more than a 33% increase from the destructiball. Like, it is crazy. This is such a big upgrade. Now, the small issue is that there's only one copy, and it also requires you to beat one of the post-game bosses, the first one, Shenlong the Dragon. Now, the process of getting wishes is a bit complicated. There's specific things you need to do, and you can get multiple wishes. Now, I cover all of the wish mechanic in one of my videos, so just, you know, I'll leave the video link in the description if you just want to know how to get multiple wishes. But if you only care about the weapon, just choose the strongest weapon for your first wish. So yeah, that's it for the best weapons for every class. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments if you have other options for like some interesting weapons to equip as a secondary weapon or something. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and peace.